Hello everyone, this is Shannon from That's So Poe, and today I'm doing week 44 of my 2023 reads. This week I finished a couple of things that I thought were quite nice, and I DNF'd one that just wasn't quite for me. Timestamps and content warnings are in the description box below. First, I read Bright Fear by Mary Jean Chan, which is a poetry collection that I heard about from Jen Campbell, who I will link below. This poetry collection was doing exactly the sort of themes and topics that I always love, which is tackling questions of identity and social issues. In this especially, Mary Jean Chan is kind of grappling with the racism that she encounters and microaggressions living in the UK as somebody who is from Hong Kong, and just that kind of divide that she feels within her own identity of being from Hong Kong or being from the UK, and what that means and how she feels when she doesn't quite feel like she belongs but also feels like she belongs. It's just all of those identity issues that I really like explored. This also kind of tackles the idea of what it was like being somebody who was visibly Asian during the pandemic, and kind of all that anti-Asian sentiment that happened there. There's also just a lot in this about her relationship with her parents and their expectations, her being queer and how that's caused a lot of issues with her mom especially. And so it just does all of those things that I really love. I think that this is that more modern style of poetry that doesn't necessarily have quite as much rhyme or rhythm to it. But otherwise, I just thought this was a really fantastic collection, and I'm definitely interested in reading her other collections as well. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Paletero Man by Lucky Diaz, illustrated by Micah, which is all about a little boy who wants to, on a very hot summer day, go find the Paletero Man to get himself some ice cream. And it's about his journey through his neighborhood, saying hi to the different food street vendors as he goes, but saying, no, what I really want today is Paletero. And so it's just all about neighborhood and food and that kind of excitement and love of Paletero. It's very sweet. I love the illustrations in this. It's incredibly colorful and just so vibrant with the movement and the kind of friendship and everything like that. It did get just a little repetitive at times. I think this is also meant to almost be in rhyme like a song as well, and so it's got almost like a repetitive chorus. But other than that, I thought it was just like a really sweet and fun story, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And lastly, I did DNF one book, which was Welcome Me to the Kingdom by Nardone. This is a collection of interconnected short stories that are historical fiction set in Thailand starting in the 80s. And I thought that the setting in this was super interesting. Just this idea of kind of economically what was going on, what was life like in Thailand at that time in the rural versus in the cities, and just sort of what kinds of dynamics were happening, what was the job situation like. So I quite liked a lot of that. But I only got through 18% of this because it was just dark and heavy. This felt kind of like the literary fiction equivalent of grim dark fantasy, where just everything's a little bit awful. The situation is difficult for everybody. Everybody is struggling. People are kind of awful to each other. Everybody's a little bit rotten inside. And it was just kind of hard to read. So I think that that's just me not really liking things that are grimdark. But I did think that the writing was quite good, and I thought that the setting was just fantastic. So if you're more open to those kind of darker literary fiction types of collections, I think this might work for you. Okay, that is everything that I read and DNF'd this week. If you guys have read any of these, if you're interested in them, you have any thoughts, any comments, or if you want to tell me what you've been reading this week, I'd love to hear from you. Just leave me a comment down below.